Hey everybody, it's your girl. Today I'm going to show you how to create a bag using just part of a pattern, and we're going to be using the McCall's fashion accessories, and the pattern number is M6522, and the bag I'm doing is B. Now I'm not using every part of the bag, but I just kind of wanted to show you how you can actually take a pattern and manipulate it in a way that you want your bag to be. Now this is just some fabrics, flower fabric that I'm using, and we're going to fold it in half, and I'm not going to fold it all the way because I want to show you how to actually save fabric. If this was a largish piece of fabric and you have more fabric, you don't have to fold it all the way in half like sometimes they ask you to preserve and save fabric. So here we're folding it in half. I'm not cutting this on a fold, but I'm just folding the fabric in half so that I can pin my pattern down. Now, you can pin your pattern, you can use weights, you can do however you want to. And this is again bag B, and I'm only using part of the bag. I'm not using all of the bag because I'm going to show you I created my own handles. You can also purchase store-bought handles if you like. You can get webbing that people use for handles. You can get it at any fabric store. So I'm just kind of showing you how to take a pattern and just use the shape of a pattern, because usually I create my own patterns, but today I said I want to show you something different, just in case you see, I don't know, patterns to me are like almost like magazine editorials. When I like what I see on the picture, I buy it, and I may not never use it, or I may just look at it and just create my own bag. Okay, so once we pin the pattern, the piece down, you need two. This will be the front and the back of your bag, of your main bag. Here, let me put another pin in here. Listen, I like to make sure mine is secure when I cut it so it don't come up. Okay, so now we're going to cut around. And we're cutting out two pieces, which is front and back. A lot of times you can use the same piece to cut out your lining fabric, but they actually had one that was actually smaller, pattern, and that was smaller than the bag for the lining. So we'll cut that out next. So first things first. Okay, so now I'm cutting this part out. You're just following around just as the pattern is shaped. Pin that too far out. Alright, so now I have two pieces for my front and my back of my bag. Show you how that looks. Like I said, anything you need is in the description box below. So once you unpin, you will have a front and a back. Hold on, you have your front and your back bag. Okay? So you have two pieces. And this is what it looks like. Okay? Front and back. Now, to manipulate any bag, what I would have done, if I wanted to make this bag a lot larger, I would have went up here and added fabric to the bag. Okay? And that's what I would have done to make it a lot taller. But for the sake of this, we're just going to use this bag pattern. Okay, so these are your front and back pieces. your main piece of your bag. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create the lining piece. So they want you to cut two. They want you to cut two on the fold. This is the arrow that indicates the fold of the fabric. So I've already went and cut out two. I want to show you, this is the fold of the fabric. So if this was your big piece of fabric, you would fold it in half. Okay, set your pattern where it says on the fold. You would have set it here. You would have pinned around, and you would have cut it out. And you wouldn't have cut out the fold, you would just cut around this piece. Okay, and then when you open it up, what you would have is this. So you had to cut it out twice because they wanted it on the fold. Okay, so there we go. So let me show you how it would look once you cut it out, after you put your pattern on and cut it out. And this is just the other piece of lining, because you need two pieces of lining. So when you cut it and remove your pattern, you would have a piece of fabric, and it was placed on the fold. So I have two, because that's what it asked for. And at this point, I'm using everything just like the pattern asked me to. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our handles. Now, if you like, you can use the pattern piece that they have. You actually cut out 4 of these, but you cut it on a fold. Okay? That's what they asked you to do. But instead, of course, I created my own handles. So these are the handles that I created. And what I did was I took 2 pieces of fabric, and my fabric measures 20 inches long by 2.5 inches wide. And I took it to my sewing machine, if you can see that, and I stitched all the way around, leaving an opening at the bottom to turn it inside out. So once I did that, this is how it would look stitched. It would be stitched like all the way around, leaving an opening to turn it inside out. At that point, I took the fabric where it was closed here, and this is just one of an easy way to use it. I took a dowel. You can buy these at any art store, fabric store. And I took it, I pushed it in. This is a great way to turn. If you don't have a turning tool, it's awesome. And then you just push it through that hole in the opening right there. Before you take it out, you can push your corners out. This is how I did it. Pull it out. I even used it because I actually have corners here. Pull them out here as well. And you take it, it's already turned in for you. Take it to your ironing board, and you press. And what you would have once you press, you would have handles. And you should have 4 of these, but for the sake of this video, I'm only using 2. Okay, and I'll show you why, how I'm going to set mine up. All right, okay, so now the next thing that I did was I made an inside pocket, and I just created my own inside pocket. And what I did, I took a piece of fabric, the same as I used for the lining, and this is actually 11 inches long by 5 inches wide. Okay, it's one piece, and I serged around the ends. Now, if you want to, if you don't have a serger, you could zigzag around the ends of the fabric, or you could actually cut out 2 pieces this size, 11 by 5, stitch it around about 1/4 of an inch, turn it inside out, press it like we did the handles, and then you'll have a clean pocket. Okay, leave an opening at the bottom to turn it inside out. Then I took another piece of fabric, 11 by 5. I folded it in half and I serged it again. You could do, like I said, the same way. Stitch it, turn it inside out, and press it. And I'm going to add a little pocket where I wanted to actually literally add like business cards or some kind of cards or whatever I wanted to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch down the middle. Once I stitch down the middle, I'm going to take a piece of my lining and actually I could just go ahead and stitch it now. I can actually put it on my lining. Now remember how I told you how to find the middle of everything? Let's do that. Take a piece of lining. It's actually, I already have a fold there. Fold it in half to find the middle. So while I'm going to my sewing machine, I might as well make one trip, right? So let's find the middle of this the pocket fabric as well. And we're going to lay it here. That's the middle. Then we're going to take this and we're just going to line this up because it's the same length. Okay? Now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine. The first thing that I'm going to do, and you can actually pin this down. The first thing I'm going to do is stitch down the middle. Now it's totally up to you. You could stitch down the middle once from here to here, creating 2 pockets, which you know what, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stitch around, all the way around, okay? Stitch all the way around. And then I'm going to take it and stitch right down the middle, creating 2 pockets up here and 2 pockets down there. All right? I'll see you back here. Okay, and this is how your pocket will look, stitched on. Okay, that's the lining. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the second side of our lining. We're going to do right sides together. And I suggest that you pin this particular, you can pin. And since this fabric is the same color, it doesn't matter. But if you had a fabric with a print, then you would have put right sides together. So what you're going to do here is we're going to stitch it. We're going to leave an opening at the bottom so we can turn the bag inside out. So we're going to take it to our sewing machine. We're going to stitch around, leaving an opening here at the bottom. We're going to stitch here all the way around, and we're going to leave an opening. Okay? And I'll see you back here. So here we've stitched around our lining all the way around on both sides, leaving an opening at the bottom to turn the bag inside out. Okay, so next, let's go to the next part. Okay, now we're going to take the front piece of our bag. We're going to actually do both sides, the front and the back, and we're going to add our handles. Now, again, like I said, I'm manipulating this bag to do it the way that I want it to be done. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of, like I said, how you can do it. So we take our strap, one of our straps that we created, and we take it and put it at the top of our bag. Since it has a round, let's go here. Let's fold this in half, okay? I'm going to do this another way because it has the round, and this is the center here. Okay, this is the center, so I'm going from the center, 1, 2. And then, let me pin it. Let me see how I like it there. And then from the center, 1, 2. I don't like that. 1, 2, let's see. This is the center, 1, 2. So this is how I did it. I folded it in half. Okay. I folded it in half to find the center. Because of how this bag is made and it's round, this is how I'm finding the center. So this is the center. I went in 1, 2, and I lined this up at 2. From the center I went over 1, 2, and I lined this one up at 2, and I pinned. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to repeat that to the other side of the bag. Okay, make sure you pin, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take it to our sewing machine, and we're going to do a really thin stitch across the top, like you've seen in other videos that I've done when I put the strap here. So, okay, there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and do the other piece. We're going to take the fabric, we're going to fold it in half to find that center piece, that center mark. Okay. Here's our middle. This is our middle. Just put it on any line on your board. Okay. We're going to take our handle. We're going from the middle, 1, 2 over. From the middle. From the middle, 1, 2. And we're going to pin. I'm just putting 2 pins in to secure. Oops. We're going to do the same thing. Let's see if that's in the middle. From the middle, 1, 2. So our 2 is here. Line the handle up. Pin. And now we're going to take both pieces to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch as close to the top as we can across there. And I'll see you back here. Okay, so now I'm back, and I have stitched close to the seam. I just want to show you. See, hopefully you can see how I just stitched all the way across, real close on both sides, on both pieces. Okay, so now what we're going to do, since we stitched these together, now we're going to, now at this point, let me say this, if you want to add a pocket to the front of this bag or anything, you can go ahead and add it now if you want to. Okay, because we're getting ready to put the bag together. So the next thing I want you to do is pull your straps down in. You're going to put right sides of the bag together. What I want you to do is line it at the top, because it's a little round at the top. Okay, so we're going to line it up at the top, and we're going to pin. Okay, because now we're getting ready to take it to the sewing machine to stitch around the bag. So let's go ahead and pin it all the way around. Because we're going to stitch all the way around. Okay. So again, if you want to know any information about this pattern, I'll leave everything in the description box below. And all I'm showing you today is how to just manipulate a pattern to create a cute little bag. Real quick, you can throw in embellishments. You can do however you like. The summer's coming up. Spring, summer. Get your colors together. Yes. So we're going to stitch this piece all the way around. Okay. We're closing up everything on this bag. All the way around here. We're closing all of this up. We're stitching all the way around. And so this kind of help you, and then you could, you know, get the pattern, manipulate it. And I'm not using any sides or gusset to the pattern. I'm just manipulating it to the way that I want to use it, and just showing you other ways that you could use patterns without instructions. Okay. Because matter of fact, I don't even know what the instructions are to that pattern, so I kind of eyeball things, and you know me, I come off the top of my head with stuff. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take this to our sewing machine, and we're going to stitch all the way around. Okay, we're going to stop here, stitch all the way around, and I'll see you back here. Don't forget, we're going to stitch all the way around the bag. All right, see you back here. Okay, so this is what you should have. So we're going to go ahead and trim off corners. You know, just the corners, because I want that to really round out. I'm not too concerned because it's 1/4 of an inch, but the corners I do want to trim, because I want those to go as flush as possible. So we can trim off a little bit. Okay, and this is all I'm going to trim off. I'm not going to touch any other part of the bag except for this and these corners. That's it. That's as much as I'm trimming. Alright. So now I just trimmed off a little bit of that and close to the corners, but not cutting my thread. And now we're going to turn it inside out. This is going to be nice. This is a really cool, cute, nice bag that you can just create a bunch of these, and you know, you can make your straps skinnier or larger, or and we have to put our lining in, so we're going to poke out our corners. So I'm going to use this to poke my corners out. And of course I'm going to press it. Okay, poke out the corners here. We have to put our lining in. How cute is this? This bag is really coming together. Is that cute? I love the shape of the bag. Okay, I didn't use the side and the bottom of the bag. Okay, this is just manipulating, using a pattern that you can just manipulate it and use it as far as the shape that you want. Okay, so now let's put the rest of the bag together. So what you're going to do, figure out which is your front, which is your back, okay, of your bag. All right, so I think this is my front. Okay, so depend on what you want, because you could have actually added a pocket here. So what we're going to do, the pocket where the lining is, this is a pocket. The pocket is going to go towards the back. Okay, so you're going to put at this point right sides together, such like this. Okay, can you see? Make sure you get that bag down in that lining. Let's see. Let me push it. I have to push it in some more. Okay, there we go. So what you're going to do, take this lining and the lining in the bag. You're going to line it up as such, as shown here. You're going to pin. And you're going to do the same thing to the other side, because we get the sides lined up first. Once we get our sides lined up, then we're good to go. And I only used 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. If you want to, you could use more than that. Okay, so once you have both sides lined up and pinned on both sides, then the next thing you're going to do is pin the rest of the bag all the way around, because we're going to take it to our sewing machine and we're going to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around the bag. Okay, So just go ahead from here, pin, because remember, this is where we go. We have that opening here in our liner, so we can turn the bag inside out. So what we're doing here is just pinning it all the way around so we can stitch. So now we pin all the way around here. So now we're going to take this to our sewing machine and we're going to top stitch. We're going to top stitch all the way around about 1/2 inch, and I'll see you back here. Okay, so now I've stitched around all the way around the bag, 1/2 inch seam allowance. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take it from the bottom and we're going to turn it inside out. I'll show you just like this. Right, it's coming together. Okay, it's your lining. Make sure you poke your lining out, because your lining has to, okay, see? Make sure you push that out, like so. Now what you're going to do now, what we're going to do is, right here where it's open, we're going to push that down, tuck it under, and you're just going to top stitch. You can use the same color thread, brown, whatever color your fabric is, to top stitch. So you're going to fold that in like this, and you're going to top stitch that. Okay, so let's go and top stitch that. If you like, you can pin. Okay. Piece of thread, I'm just, oh, that's a piece of, okay. Sometimes this helps to pin. Okay, I did a pretty large hole because I wanted to make sure I could get my bag out. So what you can do is pin, and then we're going to go take this and we're going to top stitch all the way across, and I'll see you back here. Okay, I stitched it with a white thread so you can see how I stitched it close and stitched the bottom close. I'm going to show you, this is how it looks with the black thread. You couldn't hardly see it with the black thread, so but this is for the video so you can see how I stitched it close. Okay, so now you're going to take this lining and you're going to push it inside of your bag, okay, as such, as shown here. Poke your corners in and get everything pushed in. Okay, this is a really cute bag, real cute and fun bag. You could actually make these shoulder straps if you wanted to. This could have been a crossbody, however you want it to be, whatever you want it to be. Okay, this is really cute. So now what we're going to do is we're going to line up the sides like so. We're going to top stitch all the way around the bag. Okay, so what you're going to do is pull your lining. This is how I do it. And actually I'm going to take it to the ironing board and I'm going to press. I'm going to press it. See how I'm pulling the lining up some? See how I'm doing that? So you take it to your ironing board and press. So the bag will be sort of be like this. And then once you taking it to the ironing board and pressed, so it'll be like that, okay? And then you're going to do a top stitch all the way around, and I'll see you back here, okay? Well, there you have it, another DIY video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like me to do more videos with store-bought patterns, let me know in the comments below. And as always, information will be in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a stranger about my YouTube channel. And don't forget, visit my website at angiebstyle.com and follow me on Instagram, Angelique Collections. I look forward to another DIY. See you soon.